Welcome to the WHHI-TV Daily News. I'm Betsy McDaniel, and we're back in the studio after a couple of days of dealing with Winter Storm Enzo. But of course, there's still a lot to cover, so let's get started with our headlines. Well, it seems we may finally see some thawing out this weekend after that stunning, record-setting winter storm blew through this past week. Hope your pipes stayed intact. There were remarkably few wrecks on our major roadways because most drivers heeded the warnings to stay home. Hilton Head's and Savannah's airports should spend the weekend catching up, and schools that were closed at the end of the week should be fine to reopen on Monday. We are sorry to report, though, that there are a couple of weekend cancellations. The opening of Bluffton's new Riverside Park off the traffic circle in Pritchardville, and ironically, the Hilton Head Rec Center's Snow Day event at Shelter Cove. Mother Nature beat them to that. We'll have some more detailed updates from around town a little bit later in the broadcast. Speaking of the storm, we haven't heard of anyone arrested yet during the snowstorm and its aftermath, but Beaufort County Animal Services say they'll be writing tickets for animal cruelty and neglect for those who leave their pets outside in the cold. There are laws saying you must provide proper shelter and protection from the weather for your animals. Catching up from news before the winter storm, Bluffton police have reported that they have sadly found the body of a man reported missing last week. 49-year-old Darren Mulligan, who used a wheelchair, was found near Gibbet Road in Pritchardville. He was last seen in northern Beaufort County January 11th and reported missing and endangered on the 15th. An autopsy that will reveal the suspected cause of death has been delayed due to the storm. Mulligan lived in Seabrook near MCAS Beaufort. Of the 1,500 or so U.S. Capitol rioters pardoned earlier this week, about 36 of them are from South Carolina, including Bluffton's Tyler Bradley Dykes, who pleaded guilty last April to 2 felony counts of assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers and agreeing that his use of a police riot shield constituted a dangerous weapon. Dykes had been sentenced to 57 months in prison and 36 more months of supervised probation, but he has now been released from a federal prison in New Jersey. Lowcountry Congresswoman Nancy Mace is now saying she's seriously considering running for governor next year and could make a decision in the next few weeks. She says that if she runs, she'll seek the support of President Trump, though Trump did lose Mace's home county to former Vice President Harris in November. Candidates for Henry McMaster's term-limited governor's chair cannot file to enter the race until next year, but a number of Republicans are already considering their own runs for the office, including Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette and Attorney General Alan Wilson. Mace has insinuated that those other names eyeing the governor's office don't have the grit to make the tough decisions needed to move the state forward. And there is another new scam we're being warned about, and it is called brushing. It involves you getting a package you're not expecting. That package could include a QR code promising details about the sender. But if you scan that QR code, it allows the scammer access to your personal and financial information. Some who have been brushed have found their bank accounts drained. Some victims tried to check out the scammer through a website that shows positive reviews of their products. Or the scammer might try and follow up with a phone call, making sure you got the package, and then asking for sensitive information. So what do you do about it? Don't scan the QR code. Report the package to the retailer if you can, and monitor your accounts to look for unusual activity. And yes, you can keep the merchandise if there is any. The media sources on your screen will have more on these and other stories, and we would love for you to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at WHHI-TV. And if you have an idea for a news story, we'd love to hear it, so drop us a line at news@WHHITV.com. And after a quick break, we're going to get updates from around town about how everybody fared during the snowstorm. Stay with us.